Is classical music boring? So there's an article at Slip Disc. It's a classical music magazine. Isn't that a cool name for a magazine, Slip Disc? I mean, even rap artists can't come up with that one. No knock on rap artists here. But at any rate, so this is an interview with Chris Wu. Now, Chris Wu is a violinist with the Pittsburgh Symphony. He's retiring after 36 years. And he made some quote-unquote caustic comments about these concerts, saying that going to a classical music concert, seeing an orchestra is like having a colonoscopy, having a root canal, having your car towed, you name it. Well, I'm here to tell you, I've got a list of 10 pieces of music that should be heard in the concert hall that aren't being heard. And this is the reason why nobody's going to these concerts. Because, can I just put it frankly, the music you're playing at these concerts, it's old and it's boring. I'm sorry, but I don't want to go see Beethoven's Missa Solemnis, or whatever you call it. One of the most boring pieces of music I can think of. I know I'll get a lot of flack for that in the comment section below. It's Solemnis. Missa Solemnis. So you're performing works nobody can pronounce. They're very long. They're boring. Nobody wants to sit through it. But I'll read to you what he said, and this was an interview with the Post-Gazette. By the way, there are no fancy graphics here. Epic soundtracks, pretty boy camera angles. At You Me, My Smartphone, the news of the day, and this mission, this crusade to preserve great art, music, history, and culture. And I promised you a culture video, so here's my culture video for the week. And I want to hear from you. What are your favorite pieces of classical music in the comment section below? And what pieces should be performed that aren't being performed? As I said, I have a list here of 10. I'll share those with you, and some honorable mentions. Now, these are all CDs that I have in my collection. So, Chris Wu is retiring from the Pittsburgh Symphony, and this is what he said. I believe it was Norman Lebrecht who was asking him these questions here. Well, no, that's not correct. Norman Lebrecht is doing the article here. I'm sorry. He's doing the article. But this was an interview at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. So they asked, you don't think classical music is approachable on its own merits? These days, I think most people imagine sitting through a classical music concert like a colonoscopy and a root canal. It's something that they should do, but nobody wants to go sit still for that long for something they think they won't enjoy. But if they took the time to actually go with people that have been to it before, they might realize their preconceptions were unfounded. Well, here's an idea. Why don't you take the risk, buy a ticket, and go by yourself to a really cool concert? Research the piece of music first that they're going to be performing. Listen to samples of it, and then decide if you want to go. That way you're not wasting your money. So it all takes a personal introduction. And Wu replies, death and taxes affect everyone. Music also affects everyone, no matter where you are in life. At the symphony, we play music that has lasted for centuries. I think there's a reason so many people still appreciate this music. That said, culture is always shifting. Everyone is into TikTok now, but 15 years ago it was MySpace. Whatever happened to MySpace? So maybe we need to be open to reimagining the presentation of this music we love, not the music itself. People are doing that here on YouTube. And there's a piece of music that I'll share with you in a moment from my list here. I want you to go listen to it because it's a facsimile. Is it facsimile? Facsimile. I can't even say the word. Facsimile. Say it with me, everybody. Facsimile. So it's using one of these music programs like Sibelius. You get a really good sense of what the music is like. I mean, it's about as close as you're going to get to an orchestra without an actual orchestra. But it's really good piece. So I'll share that with you in a moment. So what's next for you? I'll be working on ways to bring... Now, this is funny. I'll be working on ways to bring music to mental health patients. We know anxiety and depression have gotten worse in this country, and that pills aren't the answer for a lot of individual situations. Maybe there are some holistic ways that we as musicians can be part of the solution. So he's going to retire from the Pittsburgh Symphony, complaining that for most people going to these concerts, it's like a colonoscopy or getting a root canal. And now you're going to go bring music to mental health patients. There you go. I'm surprised most people haven't gone mental going to some of these avant-garde concerts. I'm sorry, a lot of what is being presented today, it's crap in the concert hall. It's crap. We need to hear good music. And there's so much music out there by composers that haven't even been discovered yet. There are scores and scores. You know, this piece, well, I'll share, let me go to my list now here. So one of the pieces you got to check out, Anton Taber, last name Teyber, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Anton Taber's Symphony in C major. Again, it's just a realization of the piece, because from what I was reading, I made a comment about the piece. I said, I scratched my head here, why isn't this music better known? And the person told me that a lot of times these people are holding onto these scores and they don't want to release them. Or they're charging a pretty penny to get a hold of the score. That's ridiculous. Let the world listen to this music and let us decide for ourselves. We'll probably make more money that way than holding on to some score somewhere. So the top of my list, now this isn't any particular order, I just wrote down what came to mind here. Fedor's Symphony in G major, I have that disc. Boehner, Bohner's Concert Overture in D major. Tchaikovsky's First Symphony, known as the Winter Daydream Symphony. His orchestral suites 1 and 4. Number 4 is known as Mozartiana. Francesca del Rimini and The Tempest. Now, Francesca del Rimini has become quite popular in recent years. But go listen to that piece. Great piece. Crank it. I'm seriously, crank it. The bass, I mean, it'll blow your speakers. Spohr Overtures, The Alchemist, his First Symphony and Symphony number 3. Anton Rubinstein's First Piano Concerto, Don Quixote, the symphonic poem, which sounds a lot like Liszt. Anton Rubinstein's Violin Concerto. I don't care for violin concertos, but this is a piece I love, his Violin Concerto in G major. You have the Kyle Concert Overture and Piano Concerto. Theodore von Schack, I've shared that CD here on the channel before, his Symphony in B flat. Eberwein's Symphony number 3. And here are some honorable mentions. Composers I didn't put on the list, not because I wanted to exclude anybody. We're all inclusive here. But because there's just so much great music out there. Anton Reicha. Check out the music by Anton Reicha. Ferdinand Ries, who was close friends with Beethoven. Sounds a lot like Beethoven, but his symphonies 1 and 4 are great. There's also Wilms. Symphonies of Wilms, C.E.F. Wise, Fesca, Graun. So there are so many great composers out there and so much music that's not being heard, it's not being performed, and it needs to be performed. That is why people aren't going to these concerts, because again, the music you're performing is boring. It's just the same rehashed material you've been playing for the past 200 years. How many times can you hear Beethoven's Fifth? Nothing against Beethoven's Fifth, but come on now. Expand your horizons here, conductors, orchestras. So I wanted to talk about this tonight and get your thoughts in the comment section below. And pardon the graphic here. I need to get some new pens. I usually handwrite my graphics here, so pardon the graphic. It may not be perfect, but you know that's the charm of the channel. So at any rate, you like the video, you know what to do. Click that like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Or you can find me at X, Culture Confederacy, at CultureConfed1 on X. Go to Instagram, hashtag Jason Composes, because I write music in my spare time. Or you can now find me at Substack, Culture Confederacy at Substack. So this is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out. Thanks for being with me. Hope you enjoyed the video again. I'll catch you next time, and God bless. Take care.